welcome back. This is my project update for the 28 by 28 first full update. Here we go. I finished one item and decluttered another this month. So I finished the Sunday Riley UFO oil, the little bitty sample size, and I decluttered Makeup Geek Americano because I realized I really don't use the very dark brown shadows much. So yeah, I, as a replacement for those, so I finished the UFO oil on the 13th, and so according to the number generator, I added in Flotsam from the Colourpop Misunderstood palette, and I just decluttered the Americano the other day, and the number generator put in Diablo, also from the Misunderstood palette. So for items that are already in palettes, what I'm going to do is just aim to hit pan before I take them out. Yeah, so that's that. Everything else, the aim is to finish or declutter. But yeah, so that's that. So those are the two new items. For everything else, was also Colourpop Lush, which I have a solid dip going there. The initial weight was 9.6 grams. It is now 9.08. There are two lipsticks. There's Fenty in the shade Thick. It's one of the matte lipsticks. Getting pretty close to being done. It started at 19.3 grams and it is now at 18.37 grams, so almost a gram used. I looked it up and apparently there's 1.7 grams of product in here, which seems a little low for the number of actual uses I've been getting out of this. Feels like it doesn't quite feel like I'm halfway on this. I'll have to like double check the old footage, but it doesn't seem that I'm slightly more than halfway on this. But well, that's that. So that's that should be going soon. And then the other lipstick is, should get that out of the way. So the other lipstick is Colourpop Lippy Sticks in the shade Ellery. Apparently there is 1 full gram of product in here, which again doesn't quite seem like that's that it's just 1 gram, but you don't need a ton of product per application on this. So this started at 20.55 grams. It is now at 20.02 grams. And again, it doesn't look like I've used half of what was here, so it may well be that they've underdone the amount of product that's in here. Yeah, so that's that. I feel like in terms of the makeup ones, Fenty's probably the next one to get finished. But rounding out the makeup parts of it is the Milk Blush Stick. This was the birthday gift last year. It's like the trial size and it is in the shade Work with an E. This started at 34.5 grams. It is now at 33.4 grams. Apparently there are 6 grams total of product in here. This has been around quite a while, if you've long-time fans of the channel, even though the channel hasn't been around too long. But yeah, so it's about 1 gram used and a little over 1 gram. So it should, given the amount that I used this month, I should be done in the next, I guess, 2 or 3 months, because I've used quite a bit of it already. So next up is reading goals. It was an okay reading month for me, better than I've done in the past, but I deliberately started with a bunch of short books so I could hopefully get on a bit more of a roll. I'm gonna put these back over here. So 5 books in the project currently. Haunting of Hill House, I started at page 0. I am now on page 130. This is the one that I've been focusing on this month, so I'm about halfway through. And this is the one that I want to finish in June. Yeah, it's a very good book. Definitely recommend, especially, apparently there's a Netflix series, which I have not yet seen. I want to finish the book first, because that's the kind of person I am. So next up is Great Gatsby, which I've already read. I didn't make a ton of progress on this month. I'm only on page 34. No, I'm on page 36 of this. Also a good book. Probably focus on this one after I finish Hill House, because I'm doing that whole thing where you go from shortest to longest, so you feel like you've actually accomplished something. So that's this. Also a pretty good book. But yeah, so that's page 36. And only read that for about half an hour this month, because I keep track of that kind of thing. Next up is Northanger Abbey. A similar situation where I've read most of it before, only read it for about 20 minutes this month. I'm on page 21, having started at page 0. So that's that. And The Pope Who Quit. Again, first half hour of reading this book was yesterday in a long car ride. I've mostly been focusing on Hill House when I've read it all. So I am on page, this is the one that I'm on page 34 for. And 36 of Great Gatsby, but I started at page 0 for this as well. And then the one that I've read the least this month, only about 10 minutes or so, is Black Patriots and Loyalists. I started at page 78. I am now on page 84. Very slow progress. It's very dense, but worth reading if you're into this sort of topic. So that's the reading goals. Let's go to the yarn goals, which I've actually made decent progress on. So first is this yellow worsted scarf. It's getting very long, but I want to make it wrap at least twice, maybe a little bit more. It is currently 40 inches, and I started right about here, so that's about 19 inches. Or started at around 21 inches, and I've done about 19 extra inches to make it 40 inches. So that's that. Next up is Equatorial Nights, which is like the infinity scarf with a bunch of stars. I started on round 28. I am on the last segment of round 33, so only about 5-ish rows, almost 5 rows of progress on this, mostly because I've been doing the yellow worsted one. In terms of yarn goals, I think yellow worsted is going to be the next one to get finished. And then this one is the rainbow graffiti one. I had initially had a little bit of an extra yarn, a different yarn in here, and then I made a whole bunch of progress and then decided to take that extra bit of yarn out. So I started this one at about row 16 is what I had written down. I'm now on row 120, so that's about 14 inches, and the aim for this one is going to be about 5 feet, so about 60 inches. Long way to go on this. Yeah. And then the final project, or final yarn goal, is making progress on an odds and ends blanket, which is real big. So I started this month at this variegated bit right here, and so as you can see, I've only done like 4 or 5 rows. But as you can also see, this thing is absolutely giant. The stripes are going to go lengthwise on the blanket, unless this winds up being like a queen-size blanket, in which case it'll be the stripes will be widthwise. Doesn't matter which, I don't even know yet. This is all like As you can tell, this is all like partial skeins that I don't have any other use for. So yeah, so that's that. So goals for next month, I'm going to be working to finish the yellow worsted scarf. The yellow scarf, so that'll be hopefully done next month. I'm going to aim to add another maybe 15 inches on that, maybe 20 inches, depending on how long it winds up being, and then I will post that on Etsy when I'm done. So that'll be a big focus for next month. For reading goals, focusing on Hill House and Gatsby next month. Those are quick reads once you get into them, so that shouldn't be too hard. And then for makeup, I'm going to be focusing on using the Fenty lipstick up next month. So I should be done with at least 2 or 3 items next month, having finished 2 items this month. Alright, so that's all I have for my update. Thanks for joining me. I will see y'all in my next one. Bye!